What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the High PSI Performance YouTube channel. I'm JD, and that's John. Trash. Anyways, we are hard at it again, and today I wanted to bring you another project that we've got going on, and that is LJ's 2016 Daytona Scat Pack, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, 6.4 liter Hemi. And as we take a peek inside, as you can see, we already have the 426 in the car. So I did not film a whole bunch of this. I think I filmed it coming apart, but that's about it.
That's my fault.
John's been kicking ass and taking names on this project, and so the motor.
Who the hell is that?
I promise, no one's trying to steal your F-150. Anyways, 426 is in. Our Texas Speed Stage 3 camshaft is in. Springs and retainers are on. Stainless Works 2-inch long tubes are installed to the head. So John's about to put the head gaskets on this thing. We've already got our new Hellcat lifters in here, and we're going to be dropping the heads on this motor, and this thing should go together pretty quick. Pretty exciting. Aside from that, the Gremlins motor is 100% together, ready to go back in the chassis. So that's exciting. I think we're going to go pick up the car this afternoon, and then we'll stab that back into the car. Maybe tonight. I don't know. Depends where that's at. But that is exciting. We got some more goodies in for our other Pro Charge Corvette project. Got our fuel system in. So we got a fuel hat, injectors, some fuel line. So guys, as we move right along through our week, LJ's car is all back together, minus we're missing, sorry it's a little dark over here, we are missing the ATI dampener for this thing. It just got in, so after we finish some of the other projects we're working on today, we might get a chance to get this thing back on the lift and put our dampener on. But as you can see, our 426 is pretty much all back together. All we are lacking is the balancer. Then we put the radiator fans back in, put the intake on it, and John just finished installing Hellcat injectors. So we went ahead and put bigger injectors in this thing in preparation for obviously the 426. And then if we end up doing a little any extra activities, we'll have a little bit bigger injector in here, so we'll be good in case we want to go maybe E85. So that's the update on our 426 build. Dun, 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 dun. Great news, I was able to get the Gremlin back together too. So the race car is all back together. This thing should be hitting the dyno maybe sometime next week. Still gotta iron out a few things, go over it, once over it, add a zip tie here or there. Still need to put the coolant overflow back in here. But as we prepare for Texas 2K, we need to make a belly pan for this thing. I used to run a diaper on it. I don't really like the diaper. I think it's time to build a belly pan for it. So I think we're going to do that. But she's back together. New pistons, new rods, firing the block. Hopefully we get some new power and run some new best times with it. You look a few videos back, you'll see where we push the head gasket on this thing. So John has also been working on, probably last video or video 2 ago, you guys seen this car built 5.7 with a Vortec unit on it, get dynoed and make really great numbers for a 5.7. Ooh, shameless plug. John got one of the new Build Break Repeat shirts on, looking sharp. Anyways, so what we have just done is put an ATI dampener on this thing, and got a little light. John's finna shed some light on the situation. Bam! So that is an 18% overdrive ATI dampener on this thing. So hopefully we get a few more pounds of boost. Well, we will, but we'll see how many more pounds of boost we get. And when we stick it back on the dyno, and hopefully we can crack 600 horsepower on this 5.7 liter with a manual. So that'll be exciting. That's what we got going on. We're a little short staffed this morning with Ida not here, but C7 that we did the cam in not too long ago. Ended up needing an O2 sensor and a thermostat. So, got those things changed. I got it fired up and running. Gonna once everything over and take it for a test drive and get it on back to the customer. Our C5 that I worked on this morning, I finished it up, moved it out so we can get this Civic on. But I was going back over the car, and if you listen back here in the video here, you can hear a faint ticking sound. So I wanted to figure out what that was, and I believe I have tracked it down to, if you look, there's some discoloration here. I believe we've got a DI injector that is seeping by. So I just went to GM and got new O-rings for it all. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this apart really quick, see what we can't find. So guys, as expected, it was leaking. You can see how dark, let me see if it'll focus here. You can see how dark this injector was and compared to how light the other ones are. So, replaced all of our O-rings. Focus. Replaced all of our O-rings, and now we're going to go ahead and get it installed. So guys, as you can hear, C7 is back together. And no more sound. So number one injector is all sealed up now and it's good to go. I'm going to take her for a test drive and get her on back to the customer. So guys, as you can just seen, we wrapped up the 5.7 Hemi with the long tubes. The truck is outside, waiting to be picked up. The computer crashed on me, so I have to show you guys the numbers here in a second. So I went ahead and pulled on our next project. You guys remember, I filmed tuning this thing, but the car never left. Customer wanted some more power. So you guys seen John installed the ATI 18% overdrive dampener on the car. So now we've got it back on the dyno, up and running. As you can see, it is quite cold today. It's like 28 to 32 degrees. So letting the car get all warmed up, close the door down, and we'll get to retuning this thing and see how many more pounds of boost we picked up with the overdriven balancer. So I'm gonna finish letting the car warm up, grab my laptop, get the computer back up and running, and then we'll get to tuning this thing. Alright, so we got some heat in the motor. Let's go ahead and make our first pull. Alright guys, so we have our next project on the lift. It's a chilly 27-degree morning, so let's get a cold start on this C7 that we are about to do a boiler attack exhaust on. Oh, she's so quiet. Cool. So once the smoke clears, as you can see, we have a boiler attack catback system, and then we also have a new X pipe going on as well. So let's get it installed. As you can see, we've got our old system out. So we're going to go ahead and transfer our valving over, and then we'll get our X pipe situated and put our mufflers on. So we've swapped our valving over and our mounts, and we have currently set our new X pipe over our old one, because as you can see, we have to cut, and then we'll slip connect this in to change the X pipe out. So measuring, we're going to cut it, slide these in, clamp them, put our X pipe back up, and put the rest of our exhaust system in. We have cut and put it back together. Still got to tighten everything, but we're just loosely fitting the system in. That way we can get the tip straight. It's a big thing. You Corvette guys know, you see another Corvette guy with a crooked exhaust tips, you be pointing them out. So we're going to make sure that these are straight. Got our valving all plugged in. So let's go ahead and get our mufflers on here, and then we'll start tightening this system up. The system is now all up. Nice and level, looks good. John is putting the center plate back on. So we'll get the rear valence on here in just a second. Make sure everything's nice and happy. Boom, baby, there you have it. Looking good. Go ahead and fire it up, John. Let's hear what this thing sounds like. So we do have one more modification for our side from the exhaust system we just installed, and that is an AFE power intake. So let's go ahead and pop this one off and put our new intake on. So that's going to wrap up our AFE install. Exciting. We leveled up. And then that's going to wrap up the C7. So it can go on back home. So guys, as you can see, our 426 is on the dyno. We got the base calibration in this thing. Got it fired up. Sounded pretty good. Had to grab my laptop and let's go ahead and get to tuning on this thing. But really quick guys, before we jump into all that, I didn't finish showing you what the 5.7 with the Vortex finished out at after we had done the ATI 80% overdrive pulley and picked up 3 pounds of boost. So as you can see, we picked up a significant gains in power and torque. Anybody cares to do the math on that? Gains in horsepower, gains in torque. And there's a final graph. Looking good. But that car has gone home. The customer is super happy with it because the car picked up from the first time it was here to when it left almost 120 horsepower gain. So very exciting stuff. But now let's move on to our 426.
The car's over there. The car's there. Not me.